Live. Welcome, everyone. This is the NLGE Halloween edition of the podcast, and we have a Maple Leaf Sabres fan. That's I didn't realize they exist. We have Lupocalypse, who's dressed up as Venom and Superman. Apparently, that's a thing. And Nasty, who we don't think is gonna last about 10 minutes in that mask, because of how hot it might be. Nasty, what are you supposed to be?
He's a homosexual.
I don't think he could hear me with that helmet on.
Yo, your mic's muted, Nasty. Nasty, mute your mic, bro.
It's good to see you follow the rules.
Yeah, I know, right? Okay, so Nasty's playing the mute character, who doesn't talk at all. So I think that actually works to our advantage here. All right, so just not even 10 minutes, like 3. Congratulations.
I love it.
No, we can't hear you.
I know, I'm gonna tell him he's muted.
Yeah, tell him he's an idiot too. Tell him Cobra said he's an idiot. Like he's talking right now, thinking we can hear him.
I know.
Oh shit.
You got it now, big guy?
No, I couldn't hear you guys.
Yeah, it's because you... Alright, never mind. Let's just start.
Alright, just going over some last minute
Can
details.
we restart this over real fast?
No, it's live, so everyone saw that. Congratulations. Alright.
Sweetie.
Alright, to go over some things for tomorrow. The draft is at 9 p.m. Eastern. You guys can view it on the site. We'll have multiple options in which you can view it. We'll be screen sharing, so you'll be able to see the draft, and we'll have some commentators talking about the different draft picks, and hopefully, unlike the tournament, they'll actually know who's getting picked. It should be pretty entertaining. Other than that, I mean, I talked a little bit yesterday about there being waivers. There are no waivers for the first week, but there are going to be waivers for the ongoing of the season, so owners have to be careful with their call-ups and send-downs.
Is there an IR system in place?
Yeah, there's always an IR system.
Alright.
There are a couple different rules. I mean,
I
there's...
have a question.
Well, why don't you let me finish talking, and then you can ask me a question. One of the new things is the participation agreement, which is essentially wording in our rules that states, if the player gets picked up by a team, he has to play for them. If he shows that he's inactive, doesn't respond to them, then he's going to be automatically blacklisted with the chance of an appeal. This is much like how LG does it, and for good reason. Another thing is, I guess one last thing I actually want to get out. I can't remember right now. Nasty, what was your question while I try to remember this?
For the IR, is there can people be on the IR for as long as you want?
I mean, I wouldn't see a reason for them to be on IR more than 2 weeks.
No, I know, but I'm like, is there a rule saying that has to be 2 weeks?
No, there's no specific rule for the specified time of IR, but again, if it's more than 2 weeks, you're going to start raising questions, and I'm probably going to investigate.
Yeah, no, it's not good. I was just curious.
Yeah, we don't want, well, obviously if they go on IR, they have to get sent to your TC.
Yeah.
And we'll see how that goes. Okay, fuck. I was trying to remember what else I wanted to. There was something else I wanted to bring up. Oh, so a couple people signed up some of their buddies under their IPs. Please do not fucking do that, because I'm going to be forced to delete any account that shares an IP with someone. If you're caught, if there's like double accounts or an IP is tracked to more than one account during the season, we're going to have a really big issue, and that, I don't think anyone's going to enjoy that process. So if you have buddies signing up, make sure they sign up under their own Xbox or computer or mobile phone, and not have people sign up for each other, because then that's something I check and I'm really strict on. And it's the same thing with correct gamer tags. I was in a party with someone today, and I couldn't find him on the draft list. He's like, well, I signed up. I'm like, well, what'd you sign up under? And he happened to be one of the people I messaged for having a gamer tag that didn't register on Xbox One or Xbox. Or the Xbox website. So again, important, if you are going to register for the season, it has to be your correct gamer tag. I do check shared IPs. So again, guys, it's just very specific how this has to be done, or I'm going to be forced to do things like possibly suspensions if it goes down to that far, depending on the situation. So that's all the updates I have really for the season. Lupocalypse wanted to come on the podcast. I'm not quite sure why. He didn't specify why, but I'm assuming he wants to introduce himself or talk smack. I'm not sure. We'll see how it goes. So Lou, unless you guys have any questions for me. Anyone? No? Okay, we're good.
Well, I got my first
right.
draft pick ready to go here if you guys want to hear that later on the podcast.
Aren't you trading your first round pick?
No, I was going to, but my GM and AGM told me it's a bad idea. So we really need a goalie, and we're probably going to take that first round.
Can I guess it? Can I guess it?
Yeah, you can guess.
Is it Legend 94?
Well, I guess that fucking ruins the surprise.
I got it.
Okay, so Legend 94 apparently is already proclaimed to go first in the NLG draft. Whatever it is, no one can fuck with your pick, right? You're first.
That's a good point.
You would be. Honestly, there's been owners in the past that have had the first round picks, and we always asked them like, hey, so what's your first round pick? And no one would ever say anything. And the last couple of seasons has been the first round picks kind of been a little disappointing, to be honest. It's so much pressure to really pick the right player, and it's just like that first round pick, like fuck the international draft, like Nasty keeps busting T-Noose's balls about. He got drafted first overall by DJ Treason. Every single owner in that draft went, what the fuck? And it's not, Noose is not a bad guy.
I said that.
But it's just he's not really the first round, first pick material. And I think, that's kind of how it goes with the way I think about it and how a lot of other people thought about it. But it was kind of silly. So that out of the way, we'll put Lupocalypse on the spotlight. What's up?
One second.
Oh my God, Nancy.
Announce our pick. Lou, announce our pick.
No, there's no way I'm doing anything like that. And neither are you, so whenever you're ready.
All right, so I'll introduce Lupocalypse first. He is a longtime member of NLGE. He's been here since the start. We've been on teams together. He's owned teams. He's usually been a pain in my ass, I'll be honest, but it's he's a good buddy of mine, so I take the lumps. Now, so you're owning I forget what team
Nashville.
Nashville. You're owning Nashville with Nasty.
I own Philadelphia the last season, but gave it up because there were too many East teams, but we'll be taking it back next year. But this year is Nashville.
All right. And I thank you again for that, by the way.
No problem.
So now you kind of want to be on the podcast. I figured you'd have some insight to share with us or something. I mean, what's up, man? What's your thoughts going into the draft? Do you think you're going to manage a whole season with Nasty as your GM?
That's a great question. That is a great question. So, prior to the season, I didn't really, know Nasty very well. I mean, I've talked to him a couple times. And I heard a lot from other people about, he's a prima donna, he's a lot to handle, so on and so forth. And before the season, I was talking to him a couple times. And, obviously you have that in the back of your mind, what everyone else has said about him, but he's been real straight up with me from the get-go. I told him kind of my philosophy on running a team. I got a little taste of the crazy nastiness recently with a trade offer for picks. But I think he's a good player. He's an amazing player regardless. Am I going to be? I don't think there's any question about his skill or his ability that's gonna, detract from things this year. Will I be able to see him through, maybe a tough loss or something like that? I think so. I've heard the stories, but he's been straight up with me. We've battled a couple times already. And, things worked out. He listens. I run a very democratic team. Everybody knows that. Who's been on my team before, so there's really no power trips. I kind of am open about my decisions and my decision makings, and sometimes they don't agree with everyone, obviously, and I think we'll be able to talk through those, and I think so far from what I've seen, I mean, this might surprise people, but Nasty's done a hell of a job as my GM so far, and preparing for the season's a big part of the season, So, I mean, do I think it's going to be easy? No. Do I think I'll be able to handle it? I hope so. I think so. But, time will tell. When times get hard, we'll see the true test of, what's going to go on this season. But I think I'll be all right.
That's very true. It's when it comes to those tough moments in the season, when you go on a losing skid, or maybe you have some inside the team drama that really defines on how your management helps you, and that's a big thing you got to watch out for. Now this upcoming season, where do you think you're gonna finish? I mean, like, you have your set 6 so far, I believe.
I've never managed a team or been on a team that has such a talented core. Squid, he's a beast. I think he was a points leader one season. Nasty, everybody knows too well. Bad News Barrett, good friend of mine, solid D-man since the beginning.
Barrett was a signing, correct?
Yes, sir.
What other signings did you do throughout the season so far?
Squid.
Okay.
I'm just a Squid. Bad News Barrett and SA Reflex.
Okay, yeah, that's very solid. I know all of those guys. Barrett's obviously a very solid defenseman, and Reflex is probably one of the best goalies I've seen to play the game. So those are very solid picks.
Yeah, so, things came together real well. And we still have Forfeit K9, who's the old Ekblad. He's been around for a while, knows the game, is a straight-up guy. So, I think I've never started out with such a solid core. I really have high hopes for us this season. It's not going to be too hard for me with, Squid and Nasty on the line to look good. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Don't discredit yourself either.
Yeah. I'm very realistic, I haven't been playing as long as some other people. I do well, I'm a pass first, shoot second kind of a player. But one thing I do well is I think I run a team well. So, use some of their talent and skill and some of my leadership, and I think we're going to take it pretty far.
Now, did you play?
All right.
Did you play the 360 version?
Yes.
Did you play in any leagues?
Yes. I played in NL. I owned an NLGE. I played in IOHL and I played in LG.
I just don't know you too well, so I'd like to get to know you a bit.
No worries. I ended up in NHL 14.
Okay, so just to add a little history of this for you, Dan Heater. See, when I think Lou was on my first team in season 1 before I stepped down and let Lamport take over, which is like a horrible decision. Anyone ever see Lamport anymore? The dude died and fell off the map. I haven't seen him online forever.
Yeah, but it kind of sucks that we don't have the Lamport DJ Treason team to shit on and boost everyone's morale.
Oh, I know, right?
No, do that with Buff now.
Cobra.
What's up, Nasty?
He changed his gamer tag. I can't remember what it was, but he's in NLG this season. I know I've seen him.
Really? He
in NLG as a new gamer tag.
Yeah, he does. So I don't even know. It's up to the end. I know that.
That's interesting.
Well, he probably changed his gamer tag. He hasn't talked to me in a while since season 3, since that whole thing with him and DJ Treason. I think left a bit of a sour taste in his mouth. But Dan, see, you took over one team in season 1, Tampa Bay, I believe. So you didn't really know Lou Pocalypse then. Lou Pocalypse didn't own till season 3. He was just a player the first 2 seasons.
No. I took over. So the first season was on your team.
Yeah.
Nobody knew me, but except for Killer, who vouched for me and got me on that squad, and it worked out real well.
I remember that.
Second season, I took over ownership from T. Brigg. Late in
yeah.
And then the third season, I owned outright the Flyers from the beginning.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yes.
All right, going back to Danny, you took over Tampa, right?
No, I'm Columbus.
No, he means season 1.
Oh, yeah, season 1 I took over Tampa, yeah.
The funny thing, if I didn't request a trade and get traded 2 days before you took it over, I would have been on your team.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we started at like 18-0 or something.
Well, I know we played in another league together. I forgot what it was. I know
Iowa
you
Joe.
played as the wing, and yeah.
Yeah, you drafted me in Iowa Joe.
Yeah, solid player.
Wait, Dan, you own an IOHL right now?
No, not currently. I did back then.
Oh, okay, all right.
This is like I said, Cobra. Obviously, I looked at a lot of leagues, and I liked yours the best, and that's the only one I'm sticking to this season.
Well, I appreciate that, man. And since we're on the, maybe you guys can give me your opinion on this, because normally I'm not the kind of guy that mentioned this on the podcast, because I feel it belittles the integrity of the podcast. But this shit is driving me nuts. This guy from this league that I'm not going to mention because it's not worth it.
You're going to mention the league or the guy?
IOHL.
Both of them. No, actually,
Go ahead.
And he, I guess, okay, you know what? How about this? We used to be partners with him. And it was a false partnership. It was a pathetic partnership. It was a partnership in the effort to make us merge with them, which we wouldn't do. It was threatened like half a dozen times. Anyways, like it was just a bad partnership from the beginning. And I hear this every single day. Tank says this and Tank says that. Hey, Cobra, Tank's saying this, or I get a picture message from someone in their owner's room like, oh, NLG is corrupt and blah blah blah. And I'm like, like this guy doesn't realize by talking negatively about us, he actually makes people want to join here. You know how many IOHL names I've seen join the league in the last 2 weeks? I think the only thing is we had Chelios and this other dude trolling our chat box talking about the UOHL coming back, which is a fucking joke. Anyone who joins a league that just ups and leaves whenever the commissioner feels like it is a fucking moron. That's just my opinion. So, now this guy, again, it's just constant bashing of our league. I don't know, like, it's getting boring. It's getting real old. I think I was at a party with someone the other day, I think Larkin or some stuff like that. He's like, oh man, IOHL this and Tank this. I'm like, dude, I really don't feel like hearing this right now. I've heard this stuff a million times. I don't want to talk about that, dude. We'll talk about something else. And the guy, he took my...
I have a question that's relevant.
Sure.
When do the sign-ups stop for the draft?
They stopped 10 o'clock today.
So in like 15
minutes.
And about 15 minutes.
All right. Just watching more people sign up.
So,
Sorry, but I don't know. If I'm correct, you're the first. NOG is the first league to ever go international teams.
No, we're not. No, other leagues have done it. No, we're not. Other leagues have done it before, and IOHL had done it a couple seasons before us. But see, even the international thing, it wasn't so much us taking an idea from another league as it was people from those leagues coming to us about the idea. I had 5 or 6 people tell me we should do an international tournament. Like, if I have a majority of my owners that want to do something, and it seems like an okay idea, we did it. I mean, realistically, at the end of Season 3, I wanted to shut down completely till NHL 16. But the owners, the people there, they wanted to play a quick summer tournament. They wanted to use international teams, so we did it. Didn't really turn out the greatest, but we tried. And realistically, it doesn't even matter whose ideas of it. Because if you really think about it, international tournaments weren't designed or invented by leagues. Podcasts weren't invented by leagues. Half a dozen of the ideas and themes that go into leagues these days are ideas and strategies brought from other ideas in real life, or things we've seen or heard and stuff like that. So it's not so much a league stealing from another league as it is just a league doing something for the people in their league. So for me, it doesn't really matter who did it first or last. Anyways, that's all I wanted to say about it. I just wanted to get that off my chest. I found it really fucking annoying. I was getting annoyed. And again, I don't normally like to talk about that kind of stuff on the podcast, but I just felt like it needed to be said. So, now, Lupocalypse, we'll go back to you, man. Sorry to sidetrack. I mean, who do you want to play against in the playoffs? Like, what teams do you see being a threat, and what teams do you see being really easy?
I mean, I don't want to continually pump this team up. I mean, and he's actually a very humble owner, but St. Louis, I mean, they're still going to be a contender, even without Sanctify, who I think was probably the single best person in the league, or the most impactful on the league. You know, but you know, I think St. Louis is going to be good. You know, there's I mean, it's kind of hard, especially for some of us older owners who don't really know a lot of the new owners, since there's so many of them. You know, I think it's going to be tough. I think there's definitely going to be some teams that people aren't taking very seriously right now that are going to surprise some people, and I think that you know, some of those known to be better teams, you know, might struggle a little bit, especially in the beginning. So, I mean, specific teams and things like that. You know, some people are talking about New York, supposed to be pretty good. You know, obviously, Buff's been here for a while. You know, he knows what he's doing. You got Reaper. You know, I think those guys have kind of proven themselves. Although Nasty doesn't think so. You know, LA could still be a very good team. You know, I think time will tell. I mean, I think after the draft we'll have a better idea. But, you know, a lot of the new owners and their signs and their management, I really don't know. So,
Okay, here.
Give you good.
Here, I'll throw out a couple things to you here. Give me a sec. Oh wow, look at this. Look at some guy who just posted in our chat box. I come from a shitty league of blank, blank, blank. Very wow. I usually don't like that kind of stuff being said in here because, again, I'm not one for shitting on other leagues. I just kind of want to do my own thing. But here, I'll give you a list of the owners. I'll start calling out the owners here. See if the because there's actually a lot of returning owners. I'm surprised you said there's new owners because there really isn't. Wait a second. Like, I think there's maybe 4 new owners out of the bunch. Everyone else has pretty much been here for the last 2 seasons at least.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead, shoot while I look this up.
Alright, I want to name some owners. Tell me if they're still owning. Spliff and Rum.
I'm just fucking
No.
doing Spliff and Rum.
In front of me, if you'd like to see it.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Let's see how this will work. Can you actually see that?
Yeah.
You have like a full breakdown of the list?
Oh, I have all kinds of breakdowns, buddy. Honestly,
that's
that's like why I think I'm good. Because like I do my research, I kind of, you know, I put in the time when I can. So Stinky Pete's new, right? Neil Rambo's new. Dan obviously. Evolution.
What's the top one? Fisher?
Dickface isn't there anymore, right? He's out of here. I mean, Evolution.
No, yeah, oh, that was another thing I wanted to talk about. He stepped down due to work. And I guess whatever, he tried to give me some other owner to replace him, but yeah, whatever. I don't want to go into that.
Because nobody else works, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lou, you never work.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, so you have a bunch of people who were in the league but weren't owners before, like Jake Mancini, right?
He was an owner.
Was he?
He owned in the international tournament and he owned in the AHL.
Gotcha. And Crazy Ape, I don't believe he's been an owner before.
No, he hasn't. He's been a GM, and then he also has Rockstar, who's also been management before. Yep.
And I know Head Honcho has been playing. Wasn't Omni the owner at one point?
Though Omni, I think he wanted to take a more lesser role this season.
Gotcha.
You know, after owning for 3 seasons, you know, it takes a lot out of you. So he ended up he's a AGM, and Head Honcho, who used to play on their team, is now going to take up the ownership responsibilities, which is fine with me. I talked to Head Honcho. He's a great dude, really laid back. Twitches a lot. It's kind of funny, but yeah.
Lupocalypse, if you're going to keep showing that, just lower it down a bit so we can see it, because you're only getting the first row.
Yeah, sorry, I was trying to do something here.
Damn, he's got that list all filled out.
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
You should see his Google Docs. We use color codes. Pretty badass.
Oh shit! Oh fuck! I forgot that they could actually like rewind this and probably pause it. I shouldn't have done that.
I didn't even see. You know what? I didn't see it, and let's not talk about it.
Yeah, me neither.
Here, I'm
Tell
actually.
you there.
Okay.
You can rewind and go back.
Go back to me. Yeah, it's all right. Superman style.
Okay, so I can actually go in here and just show you like this.
First time Cobra uses his fucking camera.
Yeah, Cobra, you gotta keep talking.
Pardon?
We cannot see that. We
Yeah, you
cannot
gotta
read
keep
that.
talking so it gets big, so it goes full screen.
I gotta keep talking? What? What's going on here?
There, never mind. You're good now.
Yeah, it should show it.
Yeah. See, I want you to give us these access to shit like this, so I don't have to.
This is on the site. This is under season 4
We have
information.
like a list of the people who have signed up for the draft.
No, that's the actual draft list.
Yeah.
Now,
That's what
have you gone through that draft list and made sure that guys that maybe signed up that aren't playing anymore are taken off that draft list?
there's
I have gone.
people that have signed up and are listed under 2 different positions. Multiple people are like that for sure.
Sorry?
There's people that are listed under 2 different positions.
No, there isn't.
Okay.
See, that's why if you go to season 4 list, if you actually here, I'll go to the actual list. I don't know if I can see it from here. There, sign up list. Oh, I have to log in. God damn it. Okay, well I don't feel like logging in right now.
Wow, we want to see your password.
No, you won't be able to see my password.
I don't give a fuck.
You'll just be able to get to see everything. You know, I shouldn't see everything. All right. Well, actually, I think I have my test user account. I still.
Anyway, Dan Heater.
Yeah.
While they're figuring that out, so your first pick's a goalie. Any hint where you're gonna go for the second round? What position?
It's a good question.
Don't name players, name position.
We've been scouting a lot of defensemen. Obviously, defensemen are going to be big in the league this year, along with goaltending. But again, I think we did a pretty good job on the signings with defense. So you could see a possible either left wing, right wing guy going, or maybe get one more defenseman in the second round just to solidify the core 4, as I like to call it, and lock in those defensemen and have that done, and then maybe third round go after a forward, or maybe if we get lucky and think you guys aren't going to be able to draft a defenseman that we're looking for, maybe we'll go for that winger in the second round and then hold out till the third round for that defenseman. But
We think we're gonna go. Finish.
So I think definitely you'll see either a left winger or a right winger or a defenseman go in that second round.
Yeah, we're gonna go. What was it? Either Blue Falcon or Playmaker in the second round.
You know, Blue Falcon's not playing defense, right?
Yeah, I know. He's a solid forward.
You guys might like this list. And even my notes next to him, look, this person offered a 4th while awaiting a 3rd. That's bullshit.
See, I don't know why you would.
Because I track all your shit, Cobra. Come on, somebody has.
Yeah, but see here, look, keep looking at my screen. It all tracks it anyways. I don't know why you'd have to make a list for it. Here, look. Season 4 contract signings, right here under league.
Yeah, I understand, but I look at it in like an organized way where I can see what's going on.
This isn't organized?
No, not at all. Not like mine is, where you have the person next to them in red or green if they accept it or decline.
So you're right. Next season, I'll tell them we got a color code shit.
Just
Organize it. See, understand? No, I don't want to do that shit for everybody, just myself.
I mean, well, the whole point of trying to utilize the site is to get away from Google Docs as much as possible.
Why? You're not as organized. You can't manipulate them and do analysis on them like you can in a Google Doc. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, I'm talking about a commissioner standpoint.
That's just my opinion.
All right, so I'm done my segment of the show. I really got nothing else to say. So if you guys want to continue talking, knock yourselves out. I gotta figure out how to switch this camera back to auto select. God damn it. Oh, there we go. I fixed it.
I think the only question I'd have for Lupocalypse is, obviously with Reflex and Net, you guys don't really need to worry about going for a goalie in the first round, correct?
I mean, you know.
Like, Mike, I guess my question would be...
You always need to.
do you have enough confidence in your goalie that you don't have to worry about signing another top-tier backup goalie for your club?
Well, no, because they're still limited to a number of games. I mean, we don't want to take someone who's called our backup and they're playing at least 30% of the games and then, not have a whole lot of confidence in them. I think any D team, can have their number one goalie, but needs a good number two, or you're basically giving up at, a dickload of games. So, I think I'm not afraid to say that, I definitely look for two goalies. I mean, and it's ideal. I mean, in some other seasons, I've ran 5 and 5 all season long, switch things up as some do better and worse or for playoffs and things like that. But you really need two goalies. I mean, with availability, the number of games they can play and everything else, you really need two solid goalies in a league that's set up like this.
But will you pick them within the first, let's say, 4 or 5 rounds?
I think it's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's very possible. 4 or 5 rounds, probably. I mean, there's still a lot of good goalies out there from things that I've been seeing. I mean, I haven't checked the signs and contracts in a day or so, but there's some solid goalies, and as everybody knows, goalie is not an easy position to play, especially in NHL 16. So, I think it's going to be important for teams to have that solid goalie back there. I mean, just look at Sanctify. Basically, I mean, I don't want to discredit the rest of the team. Obviously, they all work together, but he single-handedly won games. He really did. I mean, there were games that we had double the amount of shots and if you would never guess it by looking at the score, It's funny. So how important is Sanctify's girlfriend if she's gotten like 300 guys in a league talking about him not being able to play?
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Yeah, that's it. I'm going to record this and send it to him. That's awesome.
You can do that. He lives in South Jersey, right over the bridge.
Yeah, I got a question for you, Heater.
Yeah.
You're going big goal, your first pick, because you don't have a goal yet, correct?
Correct.
So your second, could we see you go within the first 5 rounds of backup goalie?
I mean that's a tough question for me to answer because with one of my signings that I made so far this year, I have a defenseman that can play pretty solid in net. And if me and my management do go over it, he could wind up being maybe the potential starting goaltender, depending on where he really wants to play this season. Or he could say, fuck it, I'll play defense, don't worry about drafting a goalie, and I'll be the backup if we need it. But only time will tell with that. I mean, you really have to see how the draft goes, who gets picked up and who doesn't. Who's still out there in those later rounds, like that 4th and 5th and 6th round, where you can go, oh, fuck, this guy's still around. I might pick him up. I could definitely use a guy like that. But I think a big thing, like I said, being a new owner, is you really got to scout. Scouting is a huge thing, and that's something that we've definitely done. We've scouted a shit ton of players. Defensemen, forwards. I think the hardest position to find in this league so far would definitely be center. I think center's a really tough position to find, especially with the signings. You go to look at the draft list for centers, and I mean, I've played in a lot of leagues, LG, UOHL, NLGE, leagues, IOHL, stuff like that. And I don't see any of those good centers up there that I'm used to seeing. So I think that's going to be a really tough position to fill. And I think that's going to ultimately come down with a lot of teams maybe asking a couple wingers to play center. The tough thing about that, though, is you got to make sure you get those face-offs. Those are key, especially in your defensive zone. So I think it's going to be really tough. And I might try out a couple more tonight before the draft and maybe tomorrow. And maybe see a center go in the 3rd or 4th round or something like that.
Does anybody know? Do you know the correct time? When's the draft? Tomorrow night, what time?
9 p.m. Nasty, where were you when we talked about this about 20 minutes ago?
9 p.m.?
Yes, Eastern Standard Time there, buddy.
I'm just hoping I don't have an LG game that time.
I have a question, Cobra, and this is definitely something that is huge, and you really can't get this type of information just from the website. Is a player's versatility. There's players that are strictly one position, and then there's players that can play it all. I mean, that definitely, with a league that has no position lock, that really comes into play. And Cobra, do you foresee for next year having some sort of secondary or other position, box where they can fill that kind of stuff in?
There definitely will be, and I apologize for it not being available this season. It was just because, again, a lot of this is last minute. We had a lot of things going on with putting the setup and features that were added to it, and that was one of the least things that we looked at. And then when we put it up, and I started hearing people's responses to it, I'm like, fuck, we should have had a secondary position coded in there. But that will definitely be something that's included for next season. And again, I apologize that it's not there. It was an oversight on our part about it, and I apologize. I mean, usually the last couple of seasons we've always had that option there, so owners know what the secondary position is. So then it's kind of been on the owners to talk to these players and see what other positions they're comfortable with playing with, which I think actually helped the scouting process a little bit, because then it kind of made players you kind of have to scout and find out what these players' secondary positions in. So it motivates owners to scout as well. So there's good things to it and there's negative things about it. But again, next season we'll definitely put the secondary position in.
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense.
Okay, everyone's disappeared here.
No, I'm here.
Yeah, I'm trying to send the link to the owner's chat.
I'm trying just to talk to people and what's up.
Well, I posted it on the chat box on the main site if anyone wants to watch it from there. Yeah, and then they could subscribe to the channel. I mean, they could check on Twitter. I usually post on Twitter as well. Hashtag NLG. What's up, Kevin?
Hey, buddy, Sanctify said thank you for talking about him.
Sanctify's a good dude, man. I'm a big fan of Sanctify.
Yeah, I am too. He's one of my buddies. Hell of a goalie. Fuck! My camera's inverted right now, so I'm trying to fix.
Not having Sanctify this season is definitely a blow. Even though me and him we've kind of been at odds end since the tournament, and even before then we kind of got into it a couple times, but again, it's a blow not to have him in this league because he's been such an active player. He's contributed to some of the teams that have won the cups the last couple of seasons. And I know if I mention St. Louis one more time, Dan Heater is going to reach through the camera and kick my ass. So I won't do it. In fact, I swear to God, when Lou Pocalypse mentioned St. Louis, I saw a little smirk on Dan's face, like motherfuckers. They mentioned them again.
Listen, I don't mind hearing about them. I get they're a good team. I think they're just a lot of underrated teams in the East that aren't getting enough credit. And
you're right. You're totally right.
I'm not gonna sit here and say everyone needs to praise Columbus and Columbus for the cup and all this stuff. I get it. We're new. No one really knows who we are. All I'm saying is just watch out. I don't think we're gonna be that bad of a team. I don't think we're gonna be top 3 teams in the league. Like I said, we are new. All I'm saying is just watch out. On any given night, anyone can beat anyone. That's how hockey goes. That's why it's probably one of the best sports to play and one of the best sports to play in a video game. Especially when it comes towards playoff time. Best of 7 series, anything can happen. And we all know, from watching the regular NHL that the Cup is one of the hardest things to win in all of professional sports. So that also applies in video game term, I guess, as well.
Alright, I want to add that. You said you're not going to win the Cup, which I respect that for not tuning you on. But I got to be cocky. Nashville is going to win the Cup. There's no saying that. And I don't care. Fuck St. Louis, because they're going to be sorry that they didn't take us seriously. But LA, I don't even play against LA for us to win.
Well, to be honest, I think you're jumping the gun a little bit nasty. Sir. just because, one, St. Louis doesn't underestimate anyone. They've always played with a very serious attitude, and that's what's won them cups, to be honest. So they don't underestimate anyone. They play everyone like it's the last game. So yeah, I wouldn't go as far to say they'll underestimate any team. They'll play with their best, like any other team should.
Yeah, and I actually think Winnipeg is going to be good.
Yeah, Winnipeg is.
Angelo,
Yeah.
Fizz, and Eddie Fistbump. I played with them in was it LG recently. Very solid players. I think they're going to do well.
Yeah. No, they got Ivo Volcano as a goalie too, and he's really solid.
Isn't he on Buffalo?
Ivo Volcano? No, he signed. I think he's our AGM, right?
Evo is on Buffalo. Evo Volcano is on Buffalo.
Oh shit! Never mind. Buffalo's going down the drain. Never mind. Well, Evo's a good goalie, but then when you play for, I have nothing against Buff. He's a good guy. I played with him 2 seasons. He's a great guy. But he's good.
Washington now.
Wait, that's what he said, right? Or you say Buffalo?
No, he's going to Buffalo, but Buff is Washington.
Oh, fuck, yeah, no, he was Buffalo 3rd season, that's my bad. I'm gonna shut up.
I think Tampa Bay getting Pinkerton in there, I think he's kind of an underrated player. I think he's pretty good. I think it should be a good season. Who's the owner for Buffalo now? Is it their GM?
I think it's his game tag is a fucking mouthful, but I think it's
the one and only Big Dog.
Yeah, something like that, but it's not it's spelled retardedly. So, well, I shouldn't make fun of his gamer tag. It's just when you first look at it, you're like, how do you say that?
Trophy gamer tags.
You know what? Are you talking shit nasty when you can't even remember what the fuck you're talking about?
Yeah, I am actually. I don't give a fuck.
Alright, yeah, no.
Oh, bro,
that's your GM there, Lou. That's your GM there.
I know. I let him do his thing, and then we talk afterwards.
See, I talk shit in podcasts, but when I need to get down to business, I always do.
Yeah, Cobra, I'm still wondering if I can get that 7th round pick if I pick a woman in the 1st round.
7th round pick. Oh man.
Well, you can't pick Debo in the 1st round, so.
Oh shit! That was a good one. You gotta get that was pretty quick and witty.
You know what's funny is Debo's been the biggest supporter of Nasty, so it's
I know, it's funny, and even yesterday.
Oh no! See, Debo and Kong, Kong, I respect Debo and Kong with the most respect. But you gotta shit talk everybody once in a while. I mean, it's fun games. Debo makes fun of me sometimes. I make fun of him. It's how it goes.
I still don't get why you just don't put down your phone.
There's a fucking charger cord right now. So, alright, one sec. Fuck it. I'll unplug it. Move this shit. Alright, there. Phone's set down.
Oh.
Alright, there. You happy?
Yep.
So, Dan.
I got a question for you, Dan. Since obviously you have the first pick and you know where you're going, who else do you see has potential for getting picked up in that 1st round?
Let me check my list here.
God fucking damn it.
I mean, there's a ton of good players out there. Like I did say earlier, obviously I don't know all the top guys like most of you guys do, but there are a lot of good players out there that I can see going. There's a guy that I did scout, Junior Hawk 16. He's a solid center / right winger. I could see him going. Obviously, guys like Pro Styles. I've seen Pro Styles play. He's a hell of a player. Superior Roger. J, L19L. I don't know if you know any of those guys. Danks. There's actually a girl, High Top Moccasins. I played with her in drop-in yesterday with a couple guys like Sir Mike Knight, and she's fucking good for a girl. And I don't mean to discredit her.
Whoa! Is that segregated right there?
No,
segregated.
Shut up!
I feel bad for the women that want to play in these leagues because I do feel that they don't get enough credit. and they get kind of passed on by guys because a lot of, and myself included, I've had some women that actually asked me to try them out, and that's all good. I'm okay with that. It's just, I think a lot of guys and their mentality is, guys play the video games, not the girls, and guys are better at sports and stuff like that. And I think some of these girls don't get enough credit. I've tried out a couple of them, like I said, and they're better than some of the guys I was looking at. So
I have a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Are you open to trading this season?
Absolutely, yes.
What kind of a question is that? Who's not open to trading?
Hey, Lou, fuck you. Oh, wait, no, fuck you again for winning that Phillies hat, just saying.
Yeah. Because you're from Pittsburgh and like Pittsburgh, right?
He left the thing. I
No,
guess he's also going to tell you to go fuck yourself for not taking the trade, also.
Oh, well, yeah, it's all right.
But, I thought, hey, we worked it out for a bit, and things just didn't work out, and, that happens sometimes, and I think, some guys take it harder than other guys. I know, Lou, you got a good sense of management and what you want to do, and Nasty can be a little bit off the walls, obviously, as we all know. And I don't think he was upset with the trade per se. I think he was just more upset of not getting a back-to-back two first rounds. I think that's kind of what drove him over the edge a bit, was why he got so upset at you, from what I heard anyway, and why you guys kind of had a little bit of a altercation.
Yeah, I mean, I can give you a little background on it. Basically, I think some people say things to him and get in his head, and he doesn't realize that everyone's not telling him the truth, or there might be ulterior motives in what people say to Nasty. And yeah, I think he wanted those number 1 and number 2 pick in the first round as some sort of status thing, but in the real world, having number 1 and number 2 when there's not 2 complete standouts that everybody wants doesn't make a lot of sense when then your next pick would be the 55th pick. So, I kind of broke that down, explained it to him, as did 1 or 2 of the other players on my team, and, he's entitled to his opinion, and he sticks to it sometimes, and that's fine. In the end, I have the ultimate decision, and, he respects that. Whether he agrees with it or not might be another story.
Yeah,
Wait,
and that was another thing that had happened. Obviously, for his mind state anyway, he's got a beef out, obviously, for LA. Doesn't like him, or I don't know the whole situation behind it, but I think he got in his head a little bit when, and I didn't do it just to fuck with him. I really did get an offer, my first overall pick, my 5th and my 6th, for LA's 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. And if you look at where LA is in the draft, they are 3rd overall. And I can't tell you how long I pondered on that. I still have Gorilla messaging me about taking that deal. Because if you think about it, I miss, 26 picks almost, 25 picks. And then it's, I would get LA's 2nd, make my pick. You guys would go, I'd get my pick. I'd get my pick again. You guys would go, and I'd get my pick. And then, instead of having to wait 4 rounds, that's 4 picks in 2 rounds, basically, going back into the 3rd round. And then also I would have their 4th round pick, so coming back down the line again, on the snake, I would have their 4th and then my 4th, and, I would have my 6 picks already out by the 4th round.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you how long I pondered on that. I mean, it's a tough decision. It's a tough business decision to make.
Yeah,
and you obviously do have to talk to your GMs and AGMs, because although you are the owner, that doesn't mean you have to be the asshole and be the guy who says, you know what, I fucking own the team, don't tell me what to fucking do. I fucking run the house. I take my GM and my AGM very seriously, and any input or any kind of input that they could put in, I always take, not with a
Grain of salt.
Grain of salt.
grain of salt. Yeah, correct. So, it was a tough decision, and obviously I threw the same offer to you, and in my personal opinion, I think you guys made the right decision. I don't think it would have been smart for you to give up basically 4 picks in a row, which would have been for us. you know, I understand everyone has that one guy they want to go after, and it would have been great for you to go, all right, first round, we're taking this guy. First round again, we're taking this guy. And then, boom, you're off to a good start. But the problem is, what lies there is that second, that third, and that fourth round, you know, everyone's going to get taken in a matter of 30, 40-something picks. And I think that's something that Nasty really didn't put into full consideration. I think he wanted to get his first 2 guys off the bat. And, you know, who knows? If he was the owner, I think he probably would have taken that.
He would have definitely taken that if he was the owner.
He would have taken that, and I think he would have had these 2 picks, and I think maybe by the 5th round he probably would have regretted that. So that's my opinion on it. That's not me saying that Nasty is a bad owner or would be a bad owner. You know, I do think it comes down to those tough decisions where, do you think the guys that you want, no one's going to pick up by that 5th round, or do you think, shit, this might be a really, you know, bad idea?
Yeah, Cobra, Nasty wants you to invite him back. I don't know if that's possible, but yeah, no, you're 100% right. I mean, he, you know, kind of a little bit rushed the decision. I think he had some ulterior motives, and I think there were some people blowing smoke in his ass, giving him some, you know, side chats that really weren't helping the main cause. You know, which is, you know, he's, I think he has some sort of management experience in another league or so, but, you know, he's a young kid, and I, you know, understand and respect his enthusiasm, but in the end, sometimes it makes more sense to really think things through on things like that and really kind of go by the numbers.
Yeah, well, like I said, in my opinion, I think you made the right move. You know, from basically from what I offered you guys and what I also had gotten, basically the same trade from LA, I would have said, to be completely honest, if you both threw that trade out to me, I probably would have taken your offer. Like I said, I would have loved to have gotten those 4 in a row. But now thinking back on it, I'm glad I listened to my GMs. I'm glad I listened to my AGMs, and I really think having that first overall is going to be the smart move here, knowing that goalies and defense are so key and important to this game.
Yeah, and especially in a snake draft, you know, like that, you know, you're basically getting the first pick, and then you're really not getting a pick till, you know, the end of, like, the beginning of the 3rd round, you know. So there's going to be, 28 picks in between there?
Yeah, about 28 picks. But I think that the solid thing about having that first round, though, is even though it is a snake, you know, you have to worry about the 28 picks after you, but then you also do get a back-to-back with that first, your second and then your third, which is always something you have to look at and think, you know, is this the smart move? Is this what I want to do? Because, like I said, you know, I was really tempted on pulling the trigger, trying to get those 4 picks in a row, or maybe 2, and then wait 1, and then another 2. That was a really tough decision for me to make, and I guess only time will tell. And tomorrow we'll see how it goes. You know, I can go on a podcast on Monday and be bitching, moaning, and complaining about how I should have taken that. But I don't think that's how it's going to happen. I think I got some smart guys in mind here on who I want to build with the team and have some pretty good chemistry with. And you know, I think not taking that trade is going to be the smart thing down the line.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, are you guys done, or can we end it now, or what's up?
Yeah, if you want to end it, that's fine.
Whatever you want to do, Cobra.
I got video calls from Neil and all them. They're all, I guess they're in the same chat, so.
No, yeah, they're trying to send us invites to another video chat. I don't know, maybe my connection. We'll try to fix the issue later on. It's about 10:20 right now, so I think we're gonna call it quits just because we've been going on for at least probably about an hour and 10 minutes now.
And those signups are
done now.
Are done now, yeah.
Correct?
They shouldn't even be able to sign up right now.
All right, good. Yeah, I guess that's really all I have to say on that. I mean, hope everyone has a good draft tomorrow. Loop, hope you draft well, and hope your season goes great.
Yeah, thank you, man. You too.
Hopefully down the line we see you in the cup, but you know, like I said, it's anyone's game, but I'd love to see that.
Yeah. I think there's going to be a lot of surprises, really. I think, you know, I think there's going to be a lot of real close teams. I don't see any team, maybe one or two being like at the bottom. But I think there's not going to be a very large range in records from top to bottom, personally. But then again, things happen, and we'll just have to see.
All right, guys. With that note,
on a quick side note, I think we play you on Wednesday. So if you could put out your best lineup, I'd appreciate that. I'd like to see what we're up against.
There's a possibility that could happen.
All right, thank you.
Okay, with that note, good luck to everyone in the draft tomorrow. We will be doing a live podcast. Hopefully we'll have more on. I apologize. We probably should have had about 8 people on right now, but we can't get more than 4 to connect, which is being a bit of an issue. But yeah, tomorrow we'll try to get as many people as we can on for the podcast for the live draft. And you guys will be able to view the draft through the podcast or on the site if you just wait for the names to actually get selected. And that's pretty much it. You guys enjoy your night, and happy Halloween.
Thank you.
Thank you.